See, the cool thing about internet trauma is that it's on the internet. I can just log off. And Tipster, thank you for the 10 tier 1s.
No way, dude.
You can use a thicker foundation to cover up 5 o'clock shadow and stubble a lot easier.
Okay, dude.
How do you...
What? What? That's new, right? I'm pretty sure that's new. Do not upgrade, do not harass, but do not let up. Do not forget. Remember that Keffals is very likely a massive fraudster. Keffals had some takes in regards to the allegations. I mean, I say allegations. I mean, I don't really see them as allegations anymore. I mean, it's been pretty well proven the nature and what happened with this GoFundMe stuff. No tip tent as far as I know, unfortunately. Unless there's more stuff on his channel, I don't really think there's much more tip tent to be had, I'm afraid. But yeah, I just, you know, to me, it just seems so obvious that Keffals did do what has been accused, right?
Fan.
So let's have a little look and see. More tip clip. So this is the first stream back after what, 7 months off, I think, something along those lines. So quite a while. And I think that an impediment to this is obviously the fact that Mutahar released this video. Lots of people were talking about it. I think that Keffals' plan is probably to kind of come back to streaming and to not really meaningfully engage with the criticism. I think Keffals has said that, you know, no more engaging with drama channels. I think that it is a kind of fortress type mentality. I'm pretty sure that's the kind of plan here. So let's have a little listen and see. I think some of this is probably not of interest, and I'm not going to obviously watch all 2 hours of this, but we'll watch a bit and see what happens. Put it on 2 times speed. I'll speed up a bit. We got plenty of time. But we'll skip some of this. It's not really relevant.
Let me know. Thing in the Discord now.
Oh.
What the frick? It's Fellini. And also hello, Hainsworth. Hey, what's up, my left shark? It's been a bit, huh?
It's sped up already.
There's been a lot of drama about you. Laugh my ass off. Hope you're taking care of yourself. See, the cool thing about internet trauma is that it's on the internet. I can just log off. It's real simple. What the fuck is cyberbullying? Just put your phone down. Just don't go on Twitter for 3 months. You're good.
It's fucking unreal, man. This is the person, by the way, that tried to use non-legal means. Well, I should be more specific. They tried to get Kiwi farms to lose their protection so that non-legal means of taking the website down could then be utilized by, you know, unknown groups, some of which were probably related to Keffals more than likely, right? But it's just so funny that now you're banged to rights on this, and from places where you can't just get it taken down, like the Mutahar video, all of a sudden it's, oh, I can just log off from internet drama. Oh, dude. It's unbearable, man.
There might be a delay, but I'm unsure. I'm trying to get everything set up because tomorrow I'm actually back to streaming. Today I'm just chatting. Turn off the monitor?
Totally and utterly wretched.
Should be off.
Well, the thing is with many, I mean, I've saw this play out before with, what was the name? Goetian. With Kiwi farms. I mean, obviously they're going to talk shit about you and document you and all this stuff. Generally speaking, you only make it worse for yourself if you engage, first of all. And secondly, particularly if you're trying to take the website down, obviously that is going to cause way more attention on you. So it's just like, remember Grecian? You Kiwi farmers might know about Grecian. Grecian made a really shit video talking about Kiwi farms, spouting all the usual fucking talking points. And then Grecian was like a fairly small YouTuber, trans YouTuber, obviously, at the time. And it just caused this absolute fucking torrent of attention. They got like doxxed and fucking all this shit, which obviously I disavow doxing. But yeah, it was quite funny. Quite funny how it just drew the ire of Kiwi farms. And it's like, obviously, you know, you can have a criticism of them, but I think when you make a specific act of targeting them for your shitty takedown video, you're probably only going to make it worse for yourself, you know? Not Queeman, Grecian, I think was the name. Lily Simpson, I believe, is their chosen name now.
Ping. Does seem like there's a little delay. Oh shit, Punkers, thank you so much for the tier 1. I don't know why it didn't say it, and you can hear background noise. There's an echo in this room. So part of the reason why I decided to do this stream today, wait, hold on.
What was that background noise?
Okay. So I had to do, it's a low hum. I know what it is. It's the fan. There is a fan that is constantly blowing on my camera so my camera doesn't overheat. The eternal issue that has been plaguing me for like over a year of streaming. But because this is a fresh installation of OBS, none of my filters are in place. So I figured I would go live today and then set everything up while shooting the shit with chat with all of you, letting you know I'm still alive. I'm doing my thing. I made Alfredo last night. It was very good. I learned how to make pasta by hand. Let's see, okay. So the audio thing, I think I'll have to set up
We'll skip some of this,
noise
obviously.
Suppression.
The tech issues.
Oh, I made pesto.
Obviously, I've not watched this.
And I finally ran out. It's not Friday. Okay, I mean,
not pre-watched. Not pre-watched.
I was setting up my setup, and then I got excited to go live again because it's been like 3 months.
Pesto is awful, guys. Listen, guys. I know some of you are chomping at the bit to get in on the criticisms, okay? But I don't really have any comment. No comment on the pasta situation, all right? I mean, listen, there's a lot you can say about Keffals, but, you know, Keffals is Italian at the end of the day, so at least on pasta, probably knows what's going on.
And I knew that, like, if I just went live on Friday, the entire setup would be scuffed as hell. So I wanted to go live a day before just to, like, get all the kinks.
Chud, how can you not tell they're off their rocker? I mean, listen, I'm trying to be fair. I'm not really picking up on anything like that. There's people in chat talking about being on drugs and shit. You know, I've not really got a read yet, so I'll let you guys speculate, but I'm just playing it careful.
Sort it out, you know?
Accuracy above all else.
Also, Story the Bard, thank you for the tier 1. And thanks for welcoming me back. And Tipster, thank you for the 10 tier 1s.
Yo! Guys. Tip 10? Where's Nicholas Diorio? Did I hear that correctly? Did Tipster just gift 10 tier 1s?
And Tipster, thank you for the 10 tier 1s.
No way, dude.
It's good to know people miss me. I'm not going to say, like, my break has been all great, but I really
Yo, where's Nicholas? Please, my queen. Accept my 10 memberships, my queen. My 10 subs, my queen.
To just fuck off the internet for a while. I started actually making friends in Ireland and hanging out and going places, and it's been great. Levels of feedback, so continue to raise.
Oh, you
So,
can't see chat. I'll just say it, okay? You don't need to read it. Trust me, we'll see it pop up in a sec. So, you know, you've got obviously some what looks like disagreement in chat. I can't see this message from Liam. I don't know if there's
Okay, that's
something to
wonderful.
take from
But
that.
how do I make money?
In any
off the
case, this
press
person
people?
responds to
Yo, homie,
Liam.
don't skip around. I haven't finished gooning to her talking about going from DIY shouty to DIY pasta
Okay.
yet.
Thank you for the 333. We're not going to watch the whole thing, guys. Mainly, I just want to hear Tipster. I've got Tipster on the brain. I just want to hear this response that people are talking about to the, you know, controversy, the claims of this defrauding through the GoFundMe. But yeah. So Sister Liam, no, she had legal battles due to harassment and explicitly told her audience that was why she needed the funds. So I think at this point, if people are still like unironically supporting Keffals, they are just completely, they live in a post-truth world in their own mind, right? I just do not believe at this stage that you can unironically support Keffals with everything that's now out in regards to this. You know, I appreciate, obviously, there's certain points where people might have disregarded certain things because they didn't like the messenger. But when it came to Mutahar, the fact that the only criticism they could really have about the video was to say the thumbnail was drawn by a transphobic artist. I mean, like, that's it. That's all you've got to say about the video. So they're very happy in their little alternate reality where Keffals was a true justice fighter fighting against, you know, transphobia and bigotry and not a complete and total huckster.
so I have some thoughts about the direction of the streams going forward. There's a lot that's going on in the world right now, obviously. Like, Trump almost died, and then Joe Biden, he's probably stepping down. Obama's pressuring him to step down now. I want to go back to covering politics. Like back in 2022. The shit that really brought this community together in the first place. Being able to come together for a good cause. We raised a lot of money. We did a lot of good. We cried.
That's interesting. Is this like an observation of the turning of the tides and they think they can slip back into politics without problem and just shill politics or something? Is that what it is? Hmm. Yeah, well, the election coming up probably. And also, how are you going to avoid drama talking about politics? That seems like an impossibility, you know?
A lot. We laughed a lot. I made a lot of friends. Some of the people in chat I ended up becoming really close friends with, and like once or twice a year I fly over to Canada or the US to hang out with them. And I fucking miss this shit. But what I don't miss is the drama. And I'm gonna stay far the fuck away from that. YouTube chat versus KGG chat is like night and day right now. The YouTube chat is just like, so I heard YouTuber Butt Muncher 69 made a scathing video about you, and it's, dude, come on. There's so much going on in the world to actually give a shit about.
Oh
Like,
my
who the
god,
fuck cares?
dude! That is so crazy. Who cares? There's more important things going on than the people pointing out my fraud, guys. It is so shameless. And the thing is like, here's the reality, right? Keffals is going to be able to garner a small audience to move forward that are willing to overlook all of this. But I feel
Okay,
like
that's wonderful.
the
But how do
days
I
of
make
like the
money
1,000 viewer
off the
streams
press
and stuff,
people?
I feel like that is over. Thank you for the 147. Yes, it's the Vosh election year bit. Yes. This is an election year. Are you sure you really want to talk about Vosh's folders? Are you sure you want to talk about Keffals defrauding an audience to the tune of 100k through GoFundMe? There's an election to win. More important, actually. Totally shameless, dude. Yeah, the 1,000 to 2,000 viewer streams are over. Yeah, exactly. That's what it seems like, at least. Too much controversy. And I think there's some people who are not going to let up on that, you know? I mean, Nicholas Diorio, as soon as I think Keffals had posted something in Discord, was on it like white on rice. So I think the best hope is going to be talking about politics to, you know, a few hundred people, probably, at best.
Who fucking cares? The shit that happens in the next several months is going to fundamentally change the world that we live in. And that's what I give a shit about.
It's so shameless, dude.
That's what I want to talk about.
Absolutely despicable behavior, man.
Look, if you want to eat ass, go for it. I've done it a few times. It's all right.
Hey, there's someone called Firsty. I think they sometimes chat here. Come on, guys. It's a heckin' election year.
I'm not a huge fan, but, you know, I'm not, like, opposed to it. You just do what you want to do. Oh, yeah, the Destiny shit. So I have to reluctantly admit that Destiny he's really fucking based right now.
Yeah, I saw this. I saw in Destiny's Twitter spurg out, I think Keffals had responded to one of Destiny's tweets. And it came across to me like it was this effort to kind of worm into kind of Destiny's orbit again. In the face of Destiny obviously getting a shitload of criticism from the right and stuff like that. That's what it came across like to me, at least.
He got banned from Kick for pissing off conservatives. And, you know, critical support to him, because I know that, like,
this is a very classic move of Keffals. It's almost like trying to grab onto a ledge. YouTube chat died. Did it? It's like you're falling and you've fallen or you've fallen down somewhere, and it's like you're trying to grab onto a ledge in order to try and find some clout somewhere. And Keffals has done this repeatedly in various different directions, right? So I feel like the Vosh thing was an example of that. I feel like this new Destiny stuff is an example of that. It's just any way that she can possibly find to grab hold in order to try and maintain relevancy and clout, she'll take it, essentially. It's very desperate. Yeah, it's like a very desperate move. So my guess is that what is going on here.
Or 3 weeks or like a month or two from now, he's gonna do something absolutely fucking unhinged, and I'm gonna be like, I might have went a bit too hard calling him based on that one, but as long as he's on this arc, I'm all for it. I hope he keeps pissing off conservatives. It's really, really, really funny. He's very good at pissing people off.
Well, I think that previously there was the kind of progressive victory thing. What was it? That meeting in Washington. And I think there was some sort of truce that happened there. But that always seemed like more of a truce of convenience rather than something meaningful. I don't really know the ins and outs of it. But this is a desperate move. This is a desperate play to try and pull yourself out of the shit that you're in. The 100k stuff is totally undeniable now. Hey, look, it's Toby Fox! Because remember, this is another move as well that you need to remember with this too. It's not just obviously the original Destiny manifesto. It's not just the Mutahar video, right? Now, even with the Mutahar video, it's fucking retarded, but you can argue that, you know, the transphobic thumbnail or something like that. There was someone called Staroxphia who came out with a thread who showed with evidence and facts and heavily criticized Keffals along the same lines of the Mutahar video, but from like they're trans essentially, right? So it was a trans person that was coming out and saying this. So even if you want to dismiss the other people in this, how do you dismiss that? And my guess is that Keffals is probably never going to engage with that or address it, because that is the one thing in this that you cannot possibly say is coming from like a transphobic place or something like that. So it's not even as if there's not people from the trans side, I guess you would call it, right? They're calling this out. Like, Keffals is totally cooked. It is undeniable at this point. Totally undeniable what Keffals did. But yeah. Very shameless, very what's the word? Like, taking advantage of the situation.
You've exposed me. I can't pull anything up on the stream. I don't even have stream alerts right now. My setup is very scuffed. I've got my stream deck isn't working. I've got one scene. It's just chat and face cam for this stream. I just wanted to make sure that this shit actually worked.
Opportunistic, yes, thank you.
But yeah, no, I've been doing great.
Where the stream likes, true.
Oh man. Oh. We are so fucking back. It does work. It is alive. I need to figure out how to deal with this echo. So this is the same room that I was streaming in before, but while I was on break, I decided to finally actually like clean it out and arrange it properly so I have a lot more space.
Jesus, Sulphur's kicking off in chat. Has she had a stroke? The face movements seem very half and half. That's wild.
Love the eyeliner.
I don't know, maybe.
Eyes. Eyeliner is like, I'm the worst. I'm so bad at doing eyeliner. I love doing eyeliner, but it's so difficult. But like anyone who just wants to start makeup, don't start with eyeliner. Do I have a Sharpie anywhere?
Oh, is this the whiteboard bit?
I'm like looking through my shit, trying to figure out
the whiteboard moments.
Oh, I do.
Dude, so shameless,
absolutely do. Hold on one sec. One sec. Do I have a BRB screen? I don't have a BRB screen. If chat, I got really good at eye makeup in the pandemic, so I need to do...
Hey, this is actually a base comment from Toby Fox. Don't be a trans person on the internet, because chasers like Chud will pursue you for months on end. Dude, there are plenty of trans people that I never talk to or interact with, okay? I, in fact, think people should be able to live and let live. I'm a very, live and let live kind of guy. But this person, it's not about the trans stuff. It is about the fraud. It is about the DIY HRT shit and the complete lack of any accountability. Or, I mean, I don't even care about an apology. I wasn't personally hurt by the fraud, but just to lay it out a bit, right? Like this, it's like, yes, $100,000 fucking dollars, bro. That's an insane amount of money. And to some people, it's like, it feels like Keffals is going to get away with a certain component of people with not being held to account for it, you know? And I think the problem is that these people at this stage, I really think that, I have very little sympathy for people that are still on board at this point. It's like, well, that's a fucking you problem if you're too retarded to see. But, Keffals' response obviously just pushes this kind of alternate reality perspective for these people where Keffals has done nothing wrong.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make
Keffals is the innocent victim in all of this,
people?
when Keffals has committed, very likely like a form of fraud.
Pop up my face. I feel like I'm better at contouring and foundation and stuff, and eyeliner is something I keep doing because I want to get better at it. Because I figure if I just keep trying, I will get better at it. It's like the first pasta that I made was shit, but I just kept going, and it ended up being really good. Any advice taking care of face stubble or shadow? So that's interesting because when I started wearing makeup the first time, I still had a lot more facial hair than I have now. I still have some, but I usually, it's not even enough to justify like doing laser or anything.
Jesus
so I just
Christ, dude.
Use a razor. But anyway, the point was that you can get thicker foundations. Like I was using like a foundation for people that have like scarring.
To come to an actual conclusion.
Remember, guys. Remember. This is the easiest way to, this is obviously an image, but it's the easiest way to just
If anyone ever finds out about how I spent the GoFundMe, I am definitely getting canceled.
It's right there, right? Do you know what I mean? Bang to rights. What could this possibly mean, if not what it says? And remember as well, even if you want to forget all the other criticism that's come from any source, Staroxphia, another trans person, made a thread laying out criticisms and calling Keffals out for this stuff too. So there's literally no worming away from it. Absolute bang to rights, no question. It's just so, like, dude, it's just utterly shameless to come onto a stream, not address it in any meaningful way. Like, look, it's true sometimes that there's stupid drama that happens, right? And some of it is worth ignoring because it's totally worthless and pointless. Like some stupid fucking Discord shit or something like that, right? But this is not irrelevant, stupid drama. This is a potential fucking, well, I mean, potentially illegal issue. I would say, yeah, GoFundMe fraud. Like, that's the best way to just plainly describe it, right? To the tune of 100,000 Canadian dollars. It's so blatant. Exactly. You can't just fucking ignore it and disregard it. And the fact that you come and make jokes about it, I'm all up for fucking edgy jokes, as you know. But when it's about your own behavior and it is completely disgusting and degenerate, then that's fucking not on, obviously.
On their face, for instance, and you can use a thicker foundation to cover up 5 o'clock shadow and stubble a lot easier.
Okay.
How do you
what?
You prevent yourself from looking like a ghost with foundation by making sure that it's matched to the color of your face. Okay, one sec.
Right, so this is the little bit that everyone's been talking about, I think. This is the bit. The bit.
So I just want to get something out of the way. So like the people in the chat, in the YouTube, it's specifically YouTube chat, those absolute fucking scoundrels. So I got the whiteboard, right? Here's a pie chart, right? This is the pie chart of where the money went. So up here we got Fortnite, Battle Pass. And down here, representing
absolutely
most of it, we
shameful
got
behavior here.
Gay, furry, porn. So, if you want to know,
dude, how can you still be a viewer of Keffals at this point? How can you watch this and not feel utterly disgusted by this and not like, I gave you money and this is how you're fucking dealing with very serious claims of fraud against you? It's a cult. It is 100% a fucking cult. Took her 3 months to come up with that, by the way. Oh, well, take solace in the fact that Keffals' career is undoubtedly over in any meaningful way. Also, I mean, this is drama. This is drama content. Making jokes about you defrauding people. Crazy.
this is the breakdown of the costs. Very essential stuff. I think that was the first time I've used that whiteboard on stream. Oh my god.
Well, the dead air as well. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. We will have a bit of dead air from time to time, but this is next.
So
level.
I'm not actually going back to playing Raft on stream. I mean, I might. That's not in the cards. I got really into Hearthstone again, so I'm probably gonna.
Just like, okay, I'm not going to use dehumanizing language. I've got to be careful, okay? But there is something about this like wretched effort to just survive in the face of overwhelming evidence that you have defrauded your audience, you know? That was the main part I wanted to watch. Maybe watch a bit more, but I'm not looking to spend massive amounts of time on Keffals because, you know, it's just obvious that this is the response. This is how it's going to go. Any serious threat of expose or criticism or evidence of them doing wrongdoing is going to be joked about and memed. You know, I remember that this happened a little while ago with a guy called Sid, I think his name is, who's this Canadian lefty guy. And he was asking for evidence of how the money was spent. And Keffals just trolled and like ratioed and did memes and did like soy jack emoji responses and stuff, you know? And it was like, no, this dude is just asking a totally fair and reasonable question. But I think a lot of this is just other stuff which I'm not really interested in listening to. What's this? Damn, you got all the clips, haven't you? Well, does it follow on from this, or is that later?
I want my streams to go back to covering political content, but I'm probably going to keep grinding competitive Hearthstone.
Sorry, Chud, you might be the only streamer who cares about dead air. It's like, I hate it, yeah.
Beardna, thank you for gifting Pikachu a sub.
I try and avoid it.
Yeah, there was a lot of raft, like an autistic amount of raft, like more raft than you would ever need. I never got into Minecraft, no. I just couldn't do it. I don't know why.
Yeah, it looks like they just talk about gaming. Like I say, guys, you don't need to worry. I'm not going to watch all of this. It was literally just to hear the responses that it was, you know, I'd heard there was some response to the drama, you know? Chud is the most dead air of any streamer I watch. That is just factually not correct. You probably think it's a long time, but it's actually not. I try very hard to avoid dead air. I'm doing my best, guys. I'm doing my best, okay? Doing my best. Do you remember DJ Mule? Yeah, of course I do. So I guess this is a more substantive response to the shit, right?
Sorry, I got frustrated with this reading this. Keffals, I love how based you are. You provide takes I see as valuable. I want you to be as credible as possible. That's my concern with the allegations money you received. I've been over this a million times. Like, you read the description. All of the money that I received went towards either legal funds, it went towards relocating, it went towards getting new gear after the cops seized my stuff. It went towards...
Wait, hang on a sec. How... This has been, like, look. Some of this stuff, okay, is obviously going to be somewhat up in the air in terms of conclusively, like, proving something. But the new gear stuff, I mean, the stuff that is the most obviously debunked point going, in that the police gave the equipment back within a matter of days. Yeah, exactly, especially the gear. The gear stuff is unquestionably debunked. There's no argument about that. It's documented that the equipment was given back. So, and even if that was the case, how much money do you need to spend on streaming equipment? Right? Even if you got your whole setup taken away, you could get a workable setup for, you know, a few $1,000s, and that would be treating yourself to probably decent equipment, you know? You could get yourself like a laptop and a microphone, which you could adequately stream from in like oh shit, I need something to stream from. You know, probably for under $1,000 if you really wanted to scrimp and save on it, you know? Yeah, hey, cow points, how's it going? Yeah, exactly. 3K is like lavish.
Paying employees when I had to take a significant hiatus from work.
Wait, what?
Towards paying employees when I had towards getting new gear after the cops seized my stuff. It went towards paying employees when I had to take a significant hiatus from work.
Wait, what? That's new, right? I'm pretty sure that's new. I definitely wasn't. That definitely was not on the original GoFundMe. I don't know if Keffals has added that on in previous statements about this, but my understanding is that is new. I don't think that the employee thing has happened before, right? Now all of a sudden you got employees that you need to pay that you never mentioned in the original GoFundMe. That's crazy, dude. Absolutely shameless, adding new things in. And here's the other thing too. Paying employees. Remember, there are claims, which, to be fair, I don't think have been 100% verified yet. But there, I believe, are claims that Keffals had given money to people, right? So, are they now being retroactively included as employees? Dude, that's that's new. That's new.
And fuck, even money that I didn't need, I ended up donating to other GoFundMes. But I don't care.
Oh my god, that's new as well. Hey, Nicholas, how's it going? Keffals is a creepy, disgusting freak. I agree. So now it's, oh, actually, any excess money, I gave it to charity myself. Well, here's the thing. Show it then. Show your accounting. Show all of your accounting that demonstrates all of this. Show us the money going to the employees, right? Show the money going to the GoFundMes. This should all be documented somewhere. You should be able to demonstrate all of this. And if it really is that much of an issue to do it, pay an accountant to bring it all together and release the information then. But this new addition of employees and claiming you use the excess money for GoFundMe, Jesus Christ, man.
Off depressed people.
Hey, cool guy, thanks for the
Thank you,
content.
Phil, for the super chat. Appreciate that. The donations to other GoFundMe, no. There was this idea of a war chest, which I think was added later, of having some sort of legal slush fund, essentially. But that was added later. These now, the claims from the original GoFundMe to what it is now, to plug what are likely the gaps of the financial side, is insane. Privacy, Chud. If you ask for significant sums of money, it is totally fair to ask for that to be documented. I mean, big charities have to show their books,
Okay, that's
right?
wonderful. But how do I make money
In order
off
to prevent
depressed
people
My
taking the
employee
piss.
Zatrun Poampus making DIY HRT for the kids I'm gonna meet in Minecraft.
Thank you for the 333. Well, I covered this across the two previous segments about Keffals, but there's that person that edited the Wikipedia page to get rid of the claims from the mutahar video, about the mutahar video. So that's been changed back to how it was before.
What people think about me. There's nothing me, but I don't care what people think about me. There's nothing I can say that will make people happy, because
No, because you're a wretched lying freak. Of course there's nothing you can say because you're a liar. You are a liar. The reason that no one believes you is because you're a liar. So what you need to do, if you want people to, believe you, is release the information. But obviously that's not going to happen because Keffals can now hide behind humor, comedy, and irony and say, I don't care what people think about me. Yeah, Shinji, right? It's really fucking shameless. I love how she added new things that the 100k was for. Shameless bitch. Yeah, true.
a resolution where I have like the moral high ground in the end is not something they want. That's not a good story to sell. Right? It's just like YouTube drama shit. I'm not really concerned.
It is not YouTube drama shit. In fact, I don't know if this was ever put up on my channel as a video, so maybe we can throw this in here now so it's somewhere when we finish watching this clip. But
like, if I really did something that was actually criminal, the Canada Revenue Service has already looked over my expenditure, and I'm fine. I didn't.
But the Canada Revenue Service, wait, that's not an organisation that would be able to determine whether or not you've committed fraud. Wouldn't that just be to do with your tax? That would be to do with tax fraud, not criminal, like, and also the other problem that you've got as well is I don't know if I can speak to say that something criminal definitely occurred. I would have thought though that this GoFundMe situation would potentially fall into a criminal arena, but nonetheless, even if you haven't committed a crime, say, there's still the moral or ethical issues around, you know, asking your audience for money and then spending it on things which you didn't say you were going to use it for. Right? Thank you for the raid. 6 raiders. Let's go, based.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
I need you to unleash the big Greg and defend me in Thames Magistrates Court. My ex-counsel keeps me shackled and forces me to overpay. I am a victim of systematic bureaucratic wine fruit.
Thank you for the £10. Yeah, the revenue service, I presume, would deal with tax fraud. But you could have not have committed tax fraud and still done something wrong with this GoFundMe, legally or morally. Fuck me, dude. It's so shameless. Dude, it's so obvious, the lie, the dishonesty is so obvious. Presenting some new institution that has looked over everything and okayed it. Nonsense.
Expenditure. And I'm fine.
That's wonderful.
I didn't
But
even
how
pay
do I make
taxes
money off depressed people?
What was this about taxes?
by expenditure. And I'm fine. I didn't even pay taxes on it. That's all I gotta say. There's nothing else I can say about that situation, okay?
So, more lies on top of the previous lies and some new claims that the Canada Revenue Service have looked at it, which, as far as I understand, is an organisation that deals with tax. God, it's absolutely, it's despicably shameless. It is disgusting. Totally disgusting, shameless freak behaviour. Anyway, guys, I'm not sure if this ever ended up being a video on the channel or we got the coverage of this in there. So just to kind of throw this in here to demonstrate for those of you that haven't seen this. Like, if you don't want to listen to any of the other criticism that has come Keffals' way, if you're an errant Keffals fan that's watching this and it's like, no, Keffals didn't do anything wrong. What I'd ask you is, why has Keffals not responded to this part of the drama? Sadly, Starvoxia has got me banned on my main account. Tragically. Stop calling him she, you clown. Oh my god, you are just as obnoxious as trans people. You're probably worse, to be honest, and more annoying. No, I'll say whatever the fuck I want. Shut up, freak. It's time to talk about the Keffals GoFundMe situation. Below, I will prove Keffals misled donors and spent 100k dishonestly. Her legal case with the Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario is dead, and Keffals has been lying about its status to avoid questions related to the money. Oh, that's another point as well. So I do think that there's a case to be made that maybe this idea that this legal case only took a year, it could be that it takes longer, but surely at some point a time limit has got to come up for that of like nothing has happened with it, right? Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, is there could be genuine delays that mean that the time frame that I think is expressed here may not necessarily be valid, and I'm willing to accept that. But at some point, surely we've got to go, well, hang on a minute, nothing has come of it in all this time. That's a bit fucking weird, isn't it? So anyway, we got this screenshot again. If anyone ever finds out how I spent the GFM, I'm definitely getting cancelled, lol. So remember, this person is Staroxphia, right? Now they're a trans person. The reason I'm saying that is not to be transphobic. It's to point out that this... What's the response to this? There's no transphobia here. There's no thumbnail that's transphobic. There's no transphobic commentary about the trans issues whatsoever that you can point to. There isn't even so much as a slur that is stated in this thread. So what is the response to this? This isn't even drama. This is someone who's looked into this and is putting information about the situation out there, right? I'm sure this Staroxia person probably has got no love lost for Kiwi Farms and will probably hate Kiwi Farms. So I've been investigating Keffals' GoFundMe for a long time, and now that a few pieces of evidence are public knowledge, I can share what I found. The above screenshot is TLDR. The above screenshot is real, and the legal case the GoFundMe was supposed to go towards likely isn't happening. Strap in, this is a doozy. First, what exactly did she say she would spend the GoFundMe on? According to the GoFundMe description, 20k for recouping losses, moving to a safe location. The remaining 80k for a legal fund. Okay, now that's now changed. So based on Keffals' most recent statements, it was also to what? Pay employees, and then also excess money has been used to fund other GoFundMes, something which is not stated in this either. So that wasn't ever a point that was made. Well, we can see it here. Yeah, look. If the goal is met, I will have raised enough money to recoup my losses and move immediately to a safe location. If the goal is exceeded, funds will be allocated to a legal fund to protect myself against ongoing and future threats to my safety. Where's this part about other GoFundMes? The original moving goal was met, but the hotel I was staying at while looking for a new place to live was doxed. I am now in hiding. I'm keeping the GoFundMe up, but all donations are going directly to my legal fund, which I will be used to seek justice. All donations are going directly to my legal fund, which I will be using to seek justice. There's no uncertainty here. Okay. Okay, listen. Why would you be a retard? I'm just going to literally ban you if you're going to be retarded. Literally pointless. Why not just be more normal? You are worse than a trans person in my mind, okay? You are despicable and subhuman to me. Fuck off. No, Chud, call them a man. No, shut up. Well, you don't have a choice now. You can't say anything anymore. But yeah, this is, you know, this is like, oh God, it's like a big lie. What is that the term that they talk about? Like a big lie. Am I using that term right? A big lie. It was like a Nazi thing, wasn't it? A big lie is a gross distortion or misrepresentation of the truth, primarily used as a political propaganda technique. Yeah, I think I'm comfortable using in that way, right? Yeah? Is that good? I don't know. I think it is. I don't want to do the whole Nazi reference thing. But yeah, I think that's probably a good call. I mean, originally it was used for the J boys, but we don't need to get into that now. Okay. On Twitter, Keffals has been less clear about how money was allocated, but here is one figure I want to call attention to. This is shortly after the GoFundMe launch, and she gives a lower estimate of 60k for a trial, and that most of the GoFundMe is going towards legal fees. A 3-day civil trial in Canada is $60,000. So again, I appreciate some of you probably are familiar or know about this, but again, I think this thread lays some stuff out that maybe wasn't even necessarily in the Mutahar video, and it also comes from a source that you could not criticize for being transphobic in any way.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Demon Mama went over this thread on stream and
True.
condemned Keffals. Hard to paint DM as a transphobic Kiwi farmer.
Very true.
I think that was truly the last nail.
Thank you for the $5 Australian. So here, a 3-day civil trial in Canada is $60,000. The vast majority of the money I raised is going to pay lawyers, and the rest is to move and pay me and my staff because I can't work until I'm safe. So to be fair, the staff thing was included here. So it was something that was included close to the time that the GoFundMe came out. But here's the problem. It wasn't on the original GoFundMe. So this feels like something that was added post hoc. Certainly, I don't think that's something that's been stated in a video in the way that it's stated in the stream. So the staff thing did come up around the time. Chud is fair, correct. But again, I think there's enough people in chat who hadn't heard that before that demonstrates this wasn't made clear in any meaningful way in the original GoFundMe. It wasn't even there at all, right? Making a trauma victim explain this a week after it happened is fucked up. Okay. So She also reiterates that the non-legal portion of the fund is going towards moving and recouping her losses, but in my investigations I found that she had no concrete losses to recoup. Keffals was swatted on August 5th. She later said that all the devices were returned 3 days later.
I eventually got my stuff back in like 3 days and got an apology from the chief of police.
That's nice.
So, yeah, that was really nice. Not nice how they responded to the situation, but I'll take it.
3 days. 3 days. You do not need to completely replace your entire setup to the tune of likely thousands of dollars, based on what Keffals is claiming, if you lose your equipment for 3 days. Right? That's an insane thing to do. This is corroborated by a property bag shown in a CBC story about Keffals swatting, the label of which clearly shows that Keffals' desktop tower was returned to her on August 8th, which was before Keffals launched the GoFundMe on August 9th. That's another detail to remember with this as well, is it came back before the GoFundMe was even set up. So how do you explain that then? How do you explain that? Yes, I'm saying that this thread, I don't know if I ever put this up as a segment, so we're throwing it in here. This thread is the silver bullet. Because, yes, it's stupid, but you can make claims about the mutahar video in order to try and diminish it in some way. Right? You can't do it with this. It's impossible. This is the silver bullet. There's nothing, and there's more information here that I don't think was even in the mutahar video, like the next tweet. Additionally, a former editor of Keffals shared with me a copy of Keffals for Financials from May 2022 to July 2023, in which we can clearly see that in August 2022, Keffals earned over 13K, which is actually higher than the surrounding months. So you can see here the August revenue of $13,000. That's US dollars, right? That's a lot of money. So this claim, I mean, and obviously some of that you would put towards your costs if you have that kind of thing happen.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
And also, here's the other problem too. Thank you for the 135. The problem with the employee claim is she had enough income to pay them because she was making bank in 2022. Why did she use the 100K to pay them when she was making bank? Yes, if you look at the figures here, now I can't speak to what sort of financial agreement with these supposed members of staff the Keffals might have, but you would pay them out of your rolling revenue rate that you have each month, right? And then if you earn less, yeah, that sucks. But then presumably, particularly with this sort of thing, the employee would have less work to do. So they would, that would be accounted for. Like if you're not making content, I mean, I don't know what employees we're talking about here, right? But it was like editors and stuff like that. Sometimes if the channel makes less money, the editor doesn't make as much if you're on like a revenue split. Or alternatively, you pay them a flat rate, but then you would manage that out of these costs here. 13,000 in August, 12,000 or nearly 13,000 in September, nearly 9,000 in October, 6,500 in November, over 12,000 in December. I mean, this is a lot of money. So this narrative that it was essential to use the 100K to pay staff just doesn't really add up when you look at the monthly rate of income that Keffals is apparently making here. Mental. Absolutely swimming in cash. To reiterate, Keffals did not have any losses to recuperate. She wouldn't see a decline in revenue until March 23 after she went to rehab. Keffals also very likely didn't use the 20K to relocate to Ireland and instead paid at least a significant portion of it out of pocket. By 4th, oh wait, is this? Yeah, 4th of the 9th, 2022. 4th September 2022. Keffals was established enough in Ireland for publications to write about her. The next day, she would have an infamous convo with Winter where, when asked if she had used GoFundMe funds for a private investigator, strongly implied she hadn't spent any of it yet. The GoFundMe is currently in savings until I need to use it. Since she used it for work, can she write that off on her taxes? I'm not sure how the Canadian tax system works, but I'm guessing it's probably the same. Where if you've got a business cost, you would pay it out of your business revenue, and so you wouldn't pay tax on that portion of the money. That wouldn't be classified as taxable earnings, right? It's like if you get $1,000 in and $500 goes to your bank account, you pay tax on that $500. But if the other $500 gets paid to some employee cost, you don't pay tax on that amount of money. That's how it works over here. I'm guessing it's the same in Canada, right? So, you know, because yeah, you might think, oh, these figures would be diminished by tax. Certainly, the eventual money that hits your account, you'd have to pay tax on. But some of this, if it is for expenses, would not be taxed too. So, you know. In this exchange, you can also see how she could afford this. She was on track to make 6 figures in 2022, which is corroborated by financials from earlier. This also adds context that up to this point, she never mentioned. She's fucking rich, or at least was at the time. This adds gravity to the situation, given that trans people... Okay. Now look, this part is true. I know some of you are anti-woke, okay? Very anti-trans. But this part is just correct and true. It is true that trans people are forced to beg for scraps online. And this is just, you know, so an already wealthy woman using a GoFundMe for an important cause, instead using it to double her income, isn't just evil, it's an insult to every trans person struggling to survive. The point of a GoFundMe. Well, yeah, okay. I'll give you that. Wait a second, slow down, okay. I was thinking, what do you mean forced? I thought as in forced to give money to Keffals. No. I agree with that part. That to say it's forced is absurd. Okay? There's something called a job that you can get. Now, I appreciate some people don't like to go outside. However, there are jobs you can do online, all right? So that's not forced. Anyway, let's not split hairs over this, okay? The basic point is that, yes, Keffals is wealthy. Keffals highly unlikely actually needed any of this money in the first place. Was making plenty of money from streaming. And any GoFundMe is normally a very desperate, wretched person trying to get some scraps to pay their rent. Now, I think the GoFundMe industrial complex is stupid, and I think there's people that could probably work that don't and stuff like that. But there are within that genuine people who have got issues who probably, you know, do need a bit of a hand. And Keffals is coming along and sucking up that support that could go elsewhere, right? And I do wonder if maybe not this exact tweet, but this idea of other people needing help is the reason that Keffals is doing this now. Oh yeah, I gave the excess money to other GoFundMes, right? To act like, well, you know, I did that with this too. Just before I get away with myself, here's the link to original exchange of Winter, which shows that it occurred on September 5th. I hate the Twitter character count. Okay, we don't need to get into that. Anyways, while it seems that Keffals didn't need the GFM to get to Ireland, she wouldn't settle down until October. This brings up the screenshot taken by a former editor for Keffals, where Keffals says all of the GoFundMe money has either been spent or earmarked. And then the famous, if anyone ever finds out how I spent the GoFundMe, I'm definitely getting cancelled. Keffals, in just 4 months, potentially just 2 months, if it really hadn't been touched by September, blew through 100k. On travelling, not moving, furniture, friends. Is that the employees, maybe? This is what I was alluding to earlier. New stream gear that she did not need since she got a streaming device back after 3 days, and clothes. The rest was for a year of rent and therapy, neither of which was outlined by the GoFundMe. I can even tell you how much she spent on rent. She would later tweet on a private that her rent during this time was $2,400 a month, which is 28.8k. Oh, that's just the archive for this tweet. I love living in Ireland so much, can barely understand what people are saying, but it's so pretty, and my rent has gone from $2,400 a month to $400, so I'm building some savings. I'm saving up to buy a house, which is not a sentence I've ever previously stated because that was not possible. Off the back of your ill-gotten gains, absolutely fucking despicable. Yeah, she says her rent in Ireland is $400 a month, but she would not move to Ireland until June 2023 when her visa was approved. Before then, she was living in Canada, which is when she was allocated a year of rent at 2.4k a month. And then the visa stuff here. My visa got approved to move to Ireland. I said Northern Ireland last time, and Republicans got mad at me, so I used the Republic flag this time, so loyalists got mad at me. I'm just keeping things on equal footing. Remember, she said and reiterated that most of the GoFundMe would go towards a legal case, that a civil case, which still has not happened, would cost a minimum of 60k for 3 days. And yet by the end of 2022, the money she said was for the legal fund was gone or allocated elsewhere. This means none of the 100k went to any of what she said it did, which brings me to the second point. A legal case with the HRTO that isn't going anywhere. Buckle up, fuckers. We're only halfway done. So I think this, I don't think was in Mutahar's video. I don't think to this level. I don't mean this cynically, but what good does it do to cover Keffals? It's good for my pocket, honestly. That's all I care about. But, you know, a sideline, a small sideline to that is, you know, this thread is the thread, I think, to point to. If you really want to, you know, like, I don't think anything's going to happen. You know, Keffals is only going to speak to a smaller and smaller insular audience that are willing to, you know, engage in this cult-like behavior of endless defense and so on, right? But this thread here, what? Let me ask you this. It's retarded, but there's criticisms of the Mutahar video. This is bulletproof. You cannot go against this. This is the thread that cannot be hand-waved away and shows even more information to really get the fucking nail in the coffin, you know, so to speak. As a result, nailing down a robust timeline of what she was saying publicly and privately regarding a case proved convoluted and unhelpful. Funny that, isn't it? Eh? Isn't that funny? Isn't it funny that it's very convoluted to try and bring together what's been said in all of this, when it should be easy, simple, and coherent, right? So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and assume her most recent plans, a complaint filed with the Human Rights
Okay,
Tribunal.
that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
DM also got into Keffals' doxer. Yeah, I think I covered that a bit. I can't remember. Thank you for the super chat. A complaint filed with the Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario on April 10th, 2023 are consistent with the initial GoFundMe for a legal case. Okay. A video wasn't uploaded till May, but various press outlets announced it was around April 21st using a press kit Keffals put together, almost all of them including a clause like this saying there was no information as to when the claim would be heard. So no information available concerning when the claim will be heard. So the thing to bear in mind with this part, so once the HRTO receives an application, the applicant receives a letter either informing them of the app needs work or it's good and it's been sent to the other party. So the issue that you've got with some of this stuff is apparently, and this is something that I've heard on the grapevine, so I don't have anything to show you to say this is what it is. So take it with a pinch of salt. But apparently there is some sort of backlog in regards to the cases in Canada with the stuff at the moment. But even with that being said, at some point, there has to be a sort of like, okay, well, this is it now. Why has it not happened? Why has it not moved forward? But it seems quite clear that Keffals' plan is to just avoid, joke, and hope that people forget so that the insular community doesn't care about it by the time that kind of timeline comes up, you know? 3 years, okay. But yeah, I mean, even with that being said, it may not even apply in this case, so... After some back and forth, the parties convene before the HRTO to mediate and try and reach a settlement. Failure to do that will lead to a hearing. You might think this process is an open-ended time frame, so it'd be expected we haven't heard anything, but that's wrong. So unfortunately for Keffals, so I do take this part with a pinch of salt. I'm very fair, as always. The HRTO sets a deadline of 1 year after the initial filing for a hearing should one occur. Keffals' application was filed on April 10th, 2023. The deadline for a hearing was a month ago. There's been no evidence of a hearing. We haven't heard anything about mediation. So in any case, like I say, we don't need to read every word of this, but the basic point is it's got this time frame or timeline of a year. That's not a hard timeline, and there could be backlogs that mean we haven't heard anything. But it's still to be watched, and it's still to be, you know, observed to see if there's eventually a point at which a reasonable time has passed and something should have happened, you know, and there's been no update, right? But as always, people are probably going to forget and move on. But I think it is probably worth just keeping a note of that, particularly if Keffals speaks about that in the future. So, yeah. Is there anything else here to go over? So this is the HRTO case, more explanations about that. I mean, if you want to read through it, you can obviously pause if you're watching this in the segment. But I think that's enough. I think that's enough for now. I think that's enough. So yeah, there we go. Very vague points, very confusing. Obviously trying to rely on this uncertainty about what's happening to hide behind that, I think. And then a final call to report the GoFundMe for fraud, which I think is probably a good thing to do if you have indeed donated money. So yeah, there we go. So the final point that Starkshire makes here, to conclude, I would like to address Keffals herself. Clara, people trusted you. For years, you said you were fighting for young trans people, for the freedom of your people, and all of it while you were lying to their faces for money that benefited only you. Do the right thing. Quite clear based on Keffals' return stream that the right thing is not going to be done. And whilst I personally cannot do anything to impact this or affect this beyond talking about it a bit, okay? But yeah, that's it. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see if there's any more comments from this from Keffals. My guess is that it's probably going to be an ignore strategy, a joke about it strategy, and hope that time just moves on and people forget. But do not forget. Do not let up. Do not brigade, do not harass, but do not let up. Do not forget. Remember that Keffals is very likely a massive fraudster and an internet wretch. I don't know. There we go. What do you reckon, guys?